All right, hi. We're doing Florida Administrative Code 162740. Rulemaking Authority 376.303, 403, 721, Florida State Law 306, 376.30, 376.303, 376.303, 403, 702, 403, 704, 403, 72, 403, 72, 1, Florida History News 12, 18th, 1995, repeals February 16th, 2012. All right, the applicability. Applicability. The management practices apply to any of the person producing, transporting, for the destroying of the PCW for the purpose of recovering petroleum contact water for the purposing of a product of any person recovering the product from the product contact water. These managers' practices do not apply with materials not meeting with the definition of the petroleum contact water, and used oil, wastewater, other materials regulated under Chapter 62, 710 Florida Administrative Code, Specific Authority 376.303, 403, 721, Florida State Law, implemented 376.30, 376.302, 376.303, 403, 702, 403, 704, 403, 72, 403, 721, Florida History News, December 18th, 1995. All right, 620, 62, 740, 03, 0 definitions. The chapter is called Petroleum Contact Water. 62740 is petroleum contact water. 1. Petroleum contact water. The petroleum contact water means that the content containing the product with examples of materials that meet the definition of petroleum contact water, including the following: condensate from the underground, above ground petroleum tanks, water bomb with the draw down with water removed from the petroleum storage tank system defined in Chapter 62, 761, 62, 762, the Florida product with water in contact with the product which displays the visible sheen contained with the spittle containment, secondary containment, the areas associated with the petroleum tank and the storage, petroleum transportation, petroleum distribution system. However, the stored water that displays visible sheen contained with the spill containment, secondary containment are associated with the diesel or number two fuel storage tank and transportation distribution system is not petroleum contact water. The petroleum tank filler, some dispenser, sump water, recovered product of the water contaminated contact with the product which does not contain hazardous constitutes the other petroleum from the first response to the action. Petroleum spills for the petroleum contamination site claims are conducted under Chapter 62, 770 Florida Administrative Codes above ground petroleum tank seal leak water pumpable liquid for petroleum tank cleaning operation. Examples of materials that do not meet the definition of petroleum contact water include the following: the equipment, the vehicle, wash water, bilge water, separated soils for the tank cleaning operation, groundwater, contaminated hazardous constitute with petroleum contact water, the wastewater regulated, permitted under the applicable department rules standards such as Chapter 62, 620, and 62, 66, 660. Petroleum refinery means the location primary standard institute classification code is facility classification, but 291, 2911 petroleum refining producer mean any person within the meaning of section 403703 4 of the Florida State statute by site whose access processes generates petroleum contact water, who acts first cause of the petroleum contact water to become the subject of the regulation. This term includes the owners operative of the storage tank system regulated with the Chapter 62, 761, and 762. Examples include owners operative retail service stations, convenience for the stores, whose wholesale product distribution facilities, product terminals, pipeline breakouts for the above ground storage tanks where the petroleum contact water is collected. The producer may recover from the petroleum contact water produced is received with another petroleum producer without becoming classified as a recovery facility. All right. Product means the petroleum product defined in Section 376 30116 Florida State Statute 1993. Recovery facility means the facility recovery of the product with the petroleum contact water beyond the level of recovery obtained with the producer means the petroleum contact water management practice with the recovery facility. The recovery facility is not considered the producer except for the other petroleum contact water with the producer on the site with the product storage tanks. Sites means the contingency land upon the producer is located with the transporter means the person who transports petroleum contact water offsite of the rail over public roads. Special Authority 376 303 403 721 for the state law 36 376 30 376 302 376 303 403 72 403 74 403 72 403 721 Florida History News December 18th to 1995. General, Part 40. Producer will determine whether the recovery product with the petroleum contact water the producer decides not to cover the product with from the petroleum contact water, the petroleum or the petroleum contact water contains hazardous constitute above the found within the product produced with the petroleum contact water. The petroleum contact water is a solid waste produced with the petroleum contact water that should determine whether the petroleum contact water is hazardous waste in accordance with the Title 40 of CFR 262.11, adopted with the reference 62.730 of Florida Administrative Codes. 3. The producer will determine the petroleum contact water to be hazardous waste determined not to be recovered with the product that shall be managed with the petroleum contact water in accordance with the Chapter 62.730 of Florida Administrative Code. The producer shall has defined and determined that the petroleum contact water is not hazardous, determined not to recover the product, and is only subject to the provision of paragraph 62.740, 40A 4A through F, and the Florida Administrator becomes regarded with the mismanagement disposal of petroleum contact water. A. Transportation disposal of petroleum contact water offsite with the publicly owned treatment of works for subject to regulations under Section 402 with the Section 307B with the Clean Water Act is amended. Other facilities permitted with the Department of Transportation disposing of petroleum contact water offsite predetermined facility connected with the POT work, POTW or publicly owned treatment works. Regulation under the Section 402, Section 307, Clean Water is amended. Transportation, piping of the petroleum contact water to and out on an on-site storage of the slop tank. Transportation, petroleum contact water to the recovery facility meets the requirements of the chapter of the transportation of petroleum contact water to the facilities with a currently valid industrial waste and air operating permit, other local, state, and federal permit provided with the petroleum contact water is managed the facility in a manner to prevent any of the violations of the Department of the Ground, Water, surface water, air emission standards. If the producer has decided to recover the product and have the product recovered from the petroleum contact water, the producer must maintain adequate records, including documentation process now as the result of the demonstration of petroleum contact water contains the recovery product and is managed as a product undergoes the product recovery and management with accordance with the applicable petroleum contact water management practices. It does not contain level of the hazards constitutes above the found with the source of petroleum contact water. 6. Methods for use for the recovery product with the petroleum contact water include the following phase of separation product with the petroleum contact water for the producer. Use of one or more oil alternate water separators by producer. Use available technology on site with the producer beyond oil water separated, centrifuge or filter pressure, thermal desorption, etc. The shipment of the petroleum contact water, the reintroduction of the petroleum contact water, the petroleum refinery, recovery of the product of the petroleum contact water with the recovery facility. If the producer conducts an initial on-site recovery of the product with the petroleum contact water, one more of the methods subsection 6 above determined not recover the additional product with number of subjects that most comply with the subsection 2, 3, and 4 of this section. Petroleum contact water remains with the recovery product within accordance with the management standards contained with the chapters not solid waste defined in Title 40 CFR Part 261.2. The specific authority 376, 303, 403, 721, Florida State Law 376, 330, 30302, 303, and 403, 702, 403, 704, 403, 72, 403, 721. The Florida State History Chest, December 12th and 18th, December 18th, 1995. Alright, 62, 740, 100. Management practice with the producer of the petroleum contact water for the product recovery. It's the subject regulation, Chapter 62, 62, 761, 762. For the administrative code of the producer shall register the Department of Petroleum contact water storage of the tanks, which then are not those in the tank within which the product of the petroleum contact water was initially produced with the chain managed for the petroleum contact water storage tanks in accordance with the rules of chapter of the petroleum contact water storage tanks must be clearly labeled marked with the words petroleum contact water. A producer may either maintain a slight record of the reflection, accumulation, removal dates of the petroleum contact water from the storage tank, to clearly marked with the petroleum contact water storage tanks with the date of the petroleum contact water accumulation first began after existing petroleum contact water with the storage tank has been removed. To a producer of storage of the petroleum contact water tank containers that are not required to register the Chapter 62, 761, 762, Florida Administrative Code shall ensure the container in the tank is made by the line of material with compatible with the petroleum contact water. Keep the container and tank closed with a stored safe manner. Label the mark of the container and tank cleared with words of the petroleum contact water the day the petroleum contact water accumulation first begins and after existing petroleum contact water in the container that has been removed. Not to handle the container on the tank of the manner that it may rupture and it causes the leak. They inspect the container of the tanks for the leaks. The deterioration of deterioration at least weekly. The producer shall not restore the petroleum contact water in the tanks for more than 180 days. Producing, utilizing continuous input-output tanks may demonstrate compliance with the paragraph. Maintaining inventory records showing that throughout more than 100% of the tank the capacity of the input petroleum contact water during the 180-day per day period. For a producer shall include the shipping paper with each of the off shipment of the petroleum contact water. The shipping paper shall identify the petroleum contact water as petroleum contact water. The producer shall notify the recovery facility receiving the petroleum contact water with the petroleum contact water does not contain levels of hazards that constitutes above those found in the source of the petroleum contact water. Alright, 6. A producer with on-site products storage capacity of less than 95,000 gallons shall maintain the record of the following of the petroleum contact water for related activities for 3 years. Shall make the record available to the department upon the 5 working day notice if the records are not maintained on-site. Producer with the on-site product with a storage capacity of 95,000 gallons shall maintain the records of the following of the petroleum contact water related for 3 years. That shall maintain the records on-site and shall make the records available to the department upon request on-site. The record retention may include the electronic media such as the computers and telephones. Fast miles records should include A. The data volume of the petroleum contact water removed from the product with the petroleum contact water tank that shipped off the site. Name of the address of the transportation shipping of the petroleum contact water off-site. Name of the address of the petroleum contact water receiving facility destination. A copy of the shipping paper and include with each of the shipment of the petroleum contact water. A copy of the written statement provided with receiving facility of the producer of the petroleum contact water does not contain the levels of hazards constitute above those found in the source of the petroleum contact water. F. Copies of the weekly container of the tank inspection required under paragraph 2E of the section. If the product shipper of the petroleum contact water within Florida with the producer shall only ship the petroleum contact water to another producer, petroleum refinery, or recovery facility that meets the petroleum contact water management practices permitted with the hazardous waste facilities. 8. If the producer of the shipment of the petroleum contact water outside the Florida, the producer transport will subject to receiving the state laws and regulation pertaining to the management of the petroleum contact water upon leaving the state of Florida within the boundaries of the state of Florida. Producer of transportation must maintain compliance with Chapter 62, 740 Florida Administrative Codes. Producing this petroleum contact water off-site rail over public railroads of the recovery shell hazardous waste transporter or the transporters will receive the DEP EPA ID number notifying the Department of the Environmental Protection Agency of the 8712 of the transportation of petroleum contact water. A producer shall not mix or commingle with the petroleum contact water with any other material identified in Chapter 62, 740, 31A of Florida Administrative Codes are defined in petroleum contact water. Specific Authority 376303, 403721, Florida State Law 37630, 37630, 37630, 403702, 403704, 403702, 403721. History News, December 18th, 1995. Alright, 62, 740, 200. Management practice for the transportation and shipping of the petroleum contact water the product recovered. Compliance with the chapter should not execute the transfer with compliance with the other applicable Florida laws or federal Department of the Transportation rules. The transportation petroleum contact water designed for the recovery shall be hazardous waste transportation compliant with Rule 62, 730, 1 and 70. Florida Administrative Card. Receive the DEP EPA EID number to the Department notifying the Department of the Environmental Protection Agency in the form of the 8712 the intent with the petroleum contact water. The transporter who is not engaged with the ultimate recovery of the product petroleum contact water shall not store the petroleum contact water for more than 3 to 5 days. For a transporter shall show the petroleum contact water in the container's tanks required for the be registered in accordance with Chapter 62, 761 and 62, 762. Florida Administrative Codes comply with the requirements of Section 62, 740, 100 Florida Administrative Codes. The transporter stores the petroleum contact water with the tanks required for the registered in accordance with Chapter 62, 761, 762. Florida Administrative Code shall manage in accordance with the applicable requirements storage pollutants specified above. Chapters of transportation shall be in an operation record of flowing the petroleum contact water related activities for 3 years and make records available to the department upon request. Name, location of the person shipping the petroleum contact water, the day the petroleum contact water was picked up, volume of the petroleum contact water transported, name of the location of the person, receipt of the petroleum contact water, the delivery of the day of the petroleum contact water, the copy of the shipping required paper using the shipment of the petroleum contact water. The transportation should not mix or commingle with the petroleum contact water with any material not identified within paragraph 62740031A of the Florida Administration codes or defined as petroleum contact water. Specifically 376 303 403 721 Florida State Law 37630, 376 302, 403 702, 403 704, 403 702, 403 721 Florida State History News, December 18th, 1995. And lastly, 62-740-300 management practice with the recovery system. Recovered facility received with the petroleum contact water obvious obtained with the hazardous waste obtained with the permanent accordance with the rule 62-730-200 and 62-732-31 Florida Administrative Codes. The quality of the exemption of the hazardous waste permitted in the process permitted suit to paragraph 62-732-71A through C of the Florida Administrative Codes obtained the use of the oil processing general permit in accordance with the rule 62-710-800 Florida Administrative accepts subsection 62-710-805 and 6 for the purpose of the permit. The words used on or shall mean used oil shall mean petroleum contact water. The phrase is used oil processing facility shall mean the petroleum contact water recovery facility. Recovery facility shall meet the following requirements to store petroleum contact water registered tanks in accordance with applicable requirements. The storage pollutants as specified in the chapter 62-761, 62-762 Florida Administrative Codes. The storage of petroleum contact water containers for tanks are not required to be registered under the Chapter 62, 761, and 762 of the Florida Administrative Codes are in accordance with requirements of subsection 62, 740, 102 Florida Administrative Codes. Maintain records of the following PCW, petroleum contact water related activities, shipment of the petroleum contact water received for the minimum of 3 years, and maintain the records on site, and make the records available to the department upon request. Name and address of petroleum contact water, producing the name and address of the petroleum contact transportation day of the receipt of the petroleum contact water shipment, and the volume of the petroleum contact received, the copy of shipping paper used for the shipment of the petroleum contact water. Alright, documentation of the weekly container of the tank inspection required with the paragraph 62-740-102E of the Florida Administrative Code. Recovery should be able to demonstrate the department operating procedure for records keep on site with the site that under the normal operation practices recovery product with the petroleum contact water. Recovery should obtain the written assurance that the product produced with the petroleum contact water does not contain levels of hazardous constitutes above those found in the source of the petroleum contact water. The written assurance that must be maintained at the recovery facility for 3 years. The recovery facility shall maintain a record documentation quantity of the product recovered from the petroleum contact water shall submit a report for the Department of the March Forest each of the year. The report shall include the total quantity of the petroleum contact water received and an estimate of the total quantity of the product recovered from the petroleum contact water during the previous calendar year. The recovery facility shall test and manage all waste residual after the recovery of the product as appropriate in accordance with the Chapter 62, 730 Florida Administrative Codes, other applicable rules of the Department. Special Rule 376 303 403 721 Florida State Law 376 303 376 302 763 03 403 702 403 704 403 702 403 721 Florida History News December 18th 1995, and that covers the petroleum contact water Florida Administrative Code 62 740.